to produce electives that support evidence-based practice skills, as well as possibly, hopefully, ultimately, can result in published evidence that's useful in clinical practice. And then the other, as I said, is to use that same logic and design in your own professional life so that we can actually publish from your end, professional case studies, best evidence tables, and critical appraisals that can be used both for education, but also for the profession, published in professional journals. So when I talk about strategic course development, I'm using, the classic logic models that are used, and it's represented by different types of diagrams, and you'll actually see the presenters using different, different flow charts or different charts. But basically, we've divided it into several sections: institutional requirements, professional requirements, feeding into the on-the-spot requirements and the preferences and the abilities of the learners, the organizers or instructors, and actually what the course should be, course outcomes, and what the learning outcomes should be. And all that is modified by all the different constraints, the time, the space, the staff. And Bob Scheel will talk quite a bit about that, as will Fraser. What your part is really going to be is during the lunchtime, the working lunch, and the after lunch workout, looking at this section of the curricular or the pedagogical methods and decisions that you have to make. So things like working from a course description and the course goals that we're going to work through in the morning, can we put those together into learning objectives, into assignments? What are those assignments worth as far as credit? What kind of effort is required and how we're going to assess that? And then making a draft of a syllabus, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of time to talk about assessments, course assessments, but also the assessments leading to feedback so we can make refinements of this. That is one of the topics that we hope to follow up on in the summer with a very specific series of lectures, OWLs, on assessments. Here we go. So our objectives are really, this morning, going to be identifying the needs of the profession, the institution, curriculum, learners. There's a lot there that I'm sure your discussion will contribute a lot to. We'd like to structure the course outcomes for specific types of evidence-based practice species, Fraser called them. I like that. Determining learning objectives. And I know a lot of you are very expert in putting together very applied learning objectives and graded learning objectives. So that will be a very good thing to share with everybody. So in the end, drafting with a team of colleagues a course syllabus or at least one evidence source, and then outlining even a plan at the end for personal, professional, scholarly activities. So we want to plan what the next 6 to 12 months will look like, what you guys want to do, and how you think you can manage it with the busy lives. So we are already off schedule, but we're going to try our best to keep on schedule. Ted is going to start first, and he's got an excellent presentation that should really invoke a lot of discussion on building a real strong offense. Around 9:30 or so, Dr. Giles is going to talk about his, oh no, we're going to have a faculty panel, I'm sorry. And we're going to discuss what the BETS and the CATS case study should look like. Then following that, is Dr. Giles, and he's going to talk about his continuum components for teaching and lead us through building learning objectives. And then comes Bob Scheel, who's going to talk about strategic course development, but really bringing in experiences. So again, many of you have EBT assignments. You've participated in journal clubs. You've participated in the grand rounds. And so we'd like all of that experience to come into play in this discussion. Then Fraser will talk about developing course outcomes, looking at feasibility and realism, relevance, and planning. And then we'll have the working lunch. And I have a handout so where we can break into what types of electives you might be interested in teaching. Following that, we'll have an after lunch workout session, we're calling it, where you'll actually draft the syllabus. Now, you don't have to stay in the same group as you are in lunchtime. You can if you would like to, but you don't have to. If you'd like to contribute and participate and gain more from switching, you can switch. And, whoops, I went back. Okay. And then we'll have a progress review where everybody can participate, including the people who are online. And then from 2:45 to 3 is really when we're going to do planning the faculty development program for the rest of the year and see how we can bring some of the electives to fruition, how we can help you actually make time to write best for yourself that you can actually use in teaching or in practice. Okay? So I think here we'll go and invite Ted to come on up. And is this one yours? No. Okay. You can